Dialga is going to be returning to raid battles, and even though this is not the Origin Forme version of this Pokemon, I still think it is worth raiding. Hey, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Alright, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about Dialga returning to raid battles. I'm going to be giving you all the best counters and the best guide for taking down this Pokemon, as well as the reasons why you will still want to take it down. Even though this is going to be the inferior version compared to Origin Forme Dialga, I still think this raid boss is worth going after for a variety of different reasons, which we'll get into later. But first, let's go over all of the best counters as well as the right strategies for taking down Dialga. Dialga is a legendary Pokemon with a double typing of Steel and Dragon, which actually complement each other really well. It's only going to have two weaknesses, which is going to be Ground type and Fighting type damage, and it's also going to have a plethora of different resistances. These include Grass and Poison as a double resistance, and then Bug, Electric, Flying, Normal, Psychic, Rock, Steel, and Water are all going to deal less than effective damage. Now, if you want yourself perfect IVs for Dialga, you will want one that is 2307, and if it's weather boosted, it's going to be 2884. Dialga is going to be weather boosted by two different weather types. These include snowy weather and windy weather. Now, it's very important that you get yourself perfect IVs for this particular Pokemon because its uses are specifically with raid battles and the Master League, where IVs actually matter. So make sure you pay attention for these numbers in particular because they're definitely going to allow you to get yourself a Dialga that's worth powering up. Now, if you want to secure the win up against Dialga, it's going to require about 5 trainers that are at least level 30 in the raid party, but if you want to challenge yourself, you can actually duo Dialga. Just make sure you and your partner have the absolute best counters, and you are both at least level 40 with all of your Pokemon powered up to at least level 40. Speaking of which, let's go over the best counters for Dialga. They're very straightforward, just your best fighting types and your best ground types are the ones you will want to bring. Some of the top counters include Mega Lucario and Primal Groudon as the Mega Evolution, and then Shadow Excadrill, Shadow Groudon, and Terrakion all round out as some of the best counters. Now, if you do not have any of these Pokemon, or you simply do not have them powered up yet because they're so expensive, then you can go with regular Lucario as well as regular Excadrill. Both of those are going to deal enough damage to take down Dialga, and it's really going to come down to how much you power them up and what movesets you have on them. Basically, just make sure every single one of your Pokemon in your raid party is going to have either fighting type or ground type attacks, and you have a Mega Evolution that will coincide with those Pokemon. Alright, so what is the point of raiding Dialga? Well, simple fact is that this Pokemon is still considered one of the best dragon types in the game, and it's also a really powerful Pokemon for the Master League. If you can get yourself enough XL candies to max it out, then you're gonna have yourself a top tier Pokemon for the Master League. Speaking of which, this is a great opportunity for you to farm up candies and XL candies for Dialga, because if you have yourself an Origin Forme Dialga with the Adventure Effect move, Roar of Time, then you could use those regular Dialga candies to actually activate that Adventure Effect. Because if you have yourself an Origin Forme Dialga with the Adventure Effect move Roar of Time, then you can use the regular Dialga candies that you farm up from these raids to actually use that Adventure Effect. And that's going to prove to be very useful with the upcoming GO Tour event, especially when it comes to using premium items and extending the duration. Those are incredibly useful, but they do require a lot of candy and Stardust, which you could farm up right now. So yeah, I think because of that, you should not ignore Dialga being in raid battles, even though it is not the Origin Forme, which is, in terms of gameplay, far superior. But I really do think that Dialga is one of those Pokemon that can still hold its own. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding Dialga returning to raid battles down below. Is this a Pokemon that you plan to raid while it is in raid battles, or are you going to skip it and save your raid passes? Definitely share your reasons why in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to every single patron on my Patreon. You all make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Count Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do that is by joining my Patreon. And if you do that, you will get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids and the friendship system, if you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you could always do so by following me on social media. My handle is @CountJinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.